Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. I've been thinking about other platformers from back in the day, and I honestly think both Crash and Sonic have a lot in common, specifically with their history, their games, their fan bases, so on, and it kind of got me wanting to talk about it, so let's get into it. I think it's pretty common knowledge by now that Sonic was originally made to go up against Mario and Nintendo back in the 90s, but Crash started out in the same way basically. PlayStation were also the type to compete, so they were basically butting heads with Nintendo as well. There are some ads from when Crash 1 was coming out. They must have had like a whole campaign or something because they clearly didn't like Mario either.
Hey, plumber boy, mustache man, your worst nightmare has arrived.
Pack up your stuff. I got a little surprise for you here.
Check it out. What do you think about that?
I also think that in terms of like the games that released, the first trilogy on the PS1 was received like the best by fans, which links to how most classic fans think of the classic trilogy as the most consistent and the best trilogy too, which I think ties them together. I think with Sonic games, it's pretty well known that after Adventure 2, Sonic Team just kept trying new ways to change things up, which kind of led to a lot of mixed games coming out at the time. But this is also the same for Crash games too. After the Wrath of Cortex, Crash to Insanity released, and it basically ended up in the same spot as Sonic Heroes with mixed reviews and it generally not being received well. This kind of kept on going with Crash and the Titans and Crash Mind Over Mutant being released as well, which put the series in a really bad spot at the time. Crash fans didn't really get any mainline games up until the remakes released in 2017, which sounds kinda similar to what Sonic fans had to go through with the Dark Age and the Meta era. The only difference is that there were still Sonic games being made, though Frontiers was kind of the last straw since if it didn't sell well or get received well, we wouldn't really have any Sonic games for a while. And I'm guessing that's because Sega didn't really have any confidence in the series anymore after the flops that came before it. After the Insane trilogy literally outperformed and did really well, I mean look at those sales figures. Crash 4 ended up coming out in 2020, that also ended up being received well. It looks like the series basically got back up on its feet again, and like I mentioned before, Frontiers thankfully ended up selling well and was generally favoured among both like the fans and the casuals. Though I guess this was partly because of the movies and the rep that they were building for the series. It introduced a lot more fans to it. After this though, Sonic X Shadow Generations was released last year, and this ended up being even more positive, and it only made things better since movie 4 also came out in the same year. Both franchises basically went through kind of like a renaissance, and it's looking a lot more positive for both of them. Although there was a Crash 5 that did get cancelled, though I think we'll see something Crash related down the line. Thank you all for watching through the video. Please like and subscribe for future content, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.